It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to this Tuesday morning on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and I certainly hope that it is feeling good being in our company, because it's so good being in yours on this morning.
Tuesday morning, all the feels this morning,
Right.
I just can't even believe it. But of course, we're speaking about something so important today. Nicole da Silva, 5FM presenter, is speaking with Tolofedi in Johannesburg about Suicide Prevention Week. Take a look.
A very good morning to Expresso family. If you've just tuned in, we are continuing our conversation now around teen suicide. And joining me is a very familiar face. You hear her on your radio. 5FM presenter Nicole da Silva has graciously agreed to share her story and her struggles with depression with us this morning. Thank you very much for being here, Nicole.
It's a pleasure, Tolo. Thank you for having me.
Talk to us a little bit about your struggles with depression. How did it start? And basically, how did you get through it? How did you work through it?
It's such a tough one because I've always been a really bubbly person. I enjoy interacting with people. I'm in the entertainment industry. And I think with the tough hours and having to always be on, I realized that there were fewer and fewer people that I could speak to about what I do. And when I was feeling not that good, there were not that many people to speak to. And I've got to emphasize, having an unstable lifestyle without the balance, without getting enough sleep, eating well, exercising, things just became really heavy, and I found myself in a really dark place. And there was almost no answer. You just kind of have to carry on performing. And eventually I was just like, you know what, I've got to speak to someone. And when I did start speaking to people, I realized actually there's a lot of people that struggle with the same thing, and all I had to do was ask for help.
And there is a stigma. I mean, seeing that you are in the entertainment industry, you always have to portray this perfect image. And a lot of people don't know that so many people in the industry struggle with this.
Yeah.
And they're fighting silent battles. Do you think that being a sort of celebrity, a well-known figure, it's that much harder to come out and say, listen, this is what I'm struggling with, and I'm just human like anyone else?
I think it was really important for me to actually vocalize, because when people see you and hear you and they're like, oh, your life is perfect, and they realize, oh, if her life isn't good, then my life isn't that bad either. And the fact that I used my platform to actually express how I was feeling and that I was going through all of this, I think it made it a little bit easier for other people to acknowledge what they were going through as well. And I try not to portray a perfect lifestyle, even though a lot of people in our industry do. I think it just makes it a little bit more real. And then other people came to me as well and said, I'm struggling with the same thing. What are you doing? And we were exchanging advice, and it was really helpful.
What do you do, Nicole? Like,
Sure.
where do you seek help? Where do you begin? You're struggling with depression. Where do you turn to first?
I think the first thing to do is to focus on self-care. It sounds so silly and so simple, but if you're not resting, if you're not taking breaks because, oh, there's a stand-in show and it's holidays and there's more opportunities for me to be on air, you end up running on empty, and burnout is real, and depression and burnout are good bedfellows, if you will. So just focusing on resting, feeding myself real food, not living on caffeine and sugar, little things like that, massages, holidays, and speaking my real truth instead of having this fake life that I have to try and, you know, keep up with.
I mean, SADC is doing so much to tackle this problem amongst teens, seeing that it is Teen Prevention Suicide Week. Talk to us about Ask, Care, Treat, that hashtag. What is it all about?
So ACT is essentially ACT, and it's just there to make it a little bit simpler for people who maybe think there's something wrong with a teen or somebody else around them. And it's super simple. I don't expect anyone to be a psychologist, but if you can ask, how are you feeling? You acting a little bit unusual. Are you okay? Can I help you? Is there something I can do? So that's the A. C is to care. If I'm asking you how you feel, and then I'm like, not really paying attention to what you're saying, that kind of negates the whole thing. So you've got to care. You've got to really listen to what somebody is saying to you, not try to help them. Oh, when I go through this, this is what I do. Just listen to what they have to say. Don't try to fix their situation or cut them short. And then to treat, that is where you seek out professional help. That is counselors, that is somebody within your community. Maybe it's a church group, perhaps it's SADC themselves. So ACT, Ask, Care, Treat.
And I think most importantly, it's also know that it's okay not to be okay. You know what I mean? We are human like yourself. I mean, you've been through depression. You look put together. I mean, I'm hoping that that your journey to recover. Let's talk about your the recovery journey, actually. How is it a constant process? Is it a once-off thing? How does it work?
I think it's constant work, speaking to people and just making sure that you stay on track all the time.
Nicole, thank you very much for coming through and sharing your story. It is a very important conversation to have. Teen Suicide Prevention Week is running until the 18th of February. And I think it's people like Nicole that show that recovery is very much possible. Back to you guys in studio.
Recovery is very much possible indeed.
Absolutely, man, and I appreciate people like Nicole da Silva who use their platforms, you know, to encourage people to speak out and seek help when they feel like they are in a very enclosed space where they feel suffocated rather, and, you know, just need help. It's very important to reach out and say, hey, I'm not okay.
The thing is, anyone can go through this. It's not a specific type of person
Exactly.
only. You often find yourself feeling stressed, depressed, and in need of a rest. Luckily, there is help. Of course, you can get in touch with the likes of SADC, but of course, there are products out there that really do help promote positivity and are good for your general happiness and wellness in that way. EmoZac is one of those products we spoke about earlier on, which I think is absolutely incredible. Many of us go through days where you're absolutely feeling stressed, or you're feeling just so tired and you don't know what to do. This is one bit of an intervention. It's not the complete solution, but certainly the start potentially for someone feeling stressed, depressed, or maybe sometimes needing a bit of a rest.
Feeling stressed, depressed, or just need better rest? Improve your mood with EmoZac, a herbal supplement containing Iranian saffron that delivers results in just 15 days.